Hey everybody, it's Michael Silvas from New Hunter Church of Christ and the Silvas Media. Hope everybody's been doing good, but I got some thoughts that I want to share with you today on our little video podcast thing here on YouTube. I want to shoot out to you today. It was shooting up to the cloud, but out to you when you watch it. I wanted to say that we need to be more loving and we need to be more caring and sharing and compassionate. A lot of times, we don't see it. People say it's going on. People say they're doing it, but where? People don't take as many risks as they used to because they're too scared about everything that's going on at the year. But there's always been things going on. There's always been bad things happening in the world. But, you got to realize, you work, and if you're blessed with a lot of stuff, wealth and resources and things, you should give them away because you can't take them with you when you die. I mean, when you die, that stuff's just going to be here, just sitting here, gathering dust. But if you help people with it, you get a lot more with it. So think about that. Be more compassionate, be more understanding, be more loving, be more caring, be more sharing. Because, like Mr. Chappell used to say, he's moved to Washington, D.C. to work there where he is. But when he used to go to Paul Green, he said this saying, he says, show that you care. Because people that really care get involved. And people who really do care give and do really share what they have. So a lot of times, that's what we have to do. We got to do that, folks. It's just so important. So, we have to realize this stuff, I don't know how else to say it, but we got to really think about that today, into our lives. How can we be more loving and caring and giving and sharing like we should be, as a church should be, And how can we, show that kind of love to people as we, share and come in contact with one another as we do every day in our life, whether we're in church or outside the church building, what we're doing in the community and where our places of where we work, our vocation. Show that love to everybody. I mean, we are supposed to be soldiers of the Lord, so we should act more like it. You want to know why a lot of attendance is down in a lot of churches today? The simple answer is this: why you don't have as many people filling your churches? It's because a lot of times we're so focused more on getting numbers and getting money rather than focusing on the people. If we focus more on the people as preachers and ministers, then our churches will get more full again. And then as far as the money goes, that money will come too. By us focusing and putting more energy in the people, and our church becomes a better place, people will give the money that's needed. You don't have to always ask for it, but you should ask for it from time to time. But the thing is, that's how the churches are going to get full. That's the secret recipe, witnessing more. And it's not always the preacher having to witness. It's also its members need to go out and witness and tell people about Jesus and invite them to church. That's how the churches get full, on Sunday. Is when other people take an active part. It's not all just the preacher that has to do it or the evangelist, but or pastor or bishop or whatever denomination you are. It's the people that are in the church that need to go out and witness to other people and invite them to come to church on Sunday or Saturday morning, depending on when you meet, or evening or afternoon, whenever your service is. But the thing is, that's what you have to do. You can't just sit there and just say, oh, we've been here for over 100 and some years or maybe longer than that, and think, oh, people are just going to come just because you're there, and hope that people will walk in the door because they happen to go by your church. I mean, if you're on a busy route and they happen to be passing through and they happen to be going on a road and your road's a popular road that many people have to travel, then that might happen for some of you. But I would say every congregation should have an active role or members who do it in a committee to go out and witness and bring more people and invite them to the church, because that's what's going to build your numbers. And I mean, that's not what it's all about. But it's about getting people there, and then God does the increase. And, instead of focusing so much on the tithes and offering, focus more on the people. And when you teach it to people as a preacher, kind of teach that try to instill that in the members. It's not so much the money's important because all churches need it, including we do here at New Hunter Church of Christ. But it's not all about the money so much. It's the people, because without the people, there's no church. And the money's good, but without people, there's really no church. And for future generations to come in after people get old and pass on, to retire, or die, and go to be with the Lord, go home to be with the Lord, then, we need to, as people, instill these values in our kids so that there will be a future generation that comes after us. So that's all about the great picture of God's love. That's why he said the greatest of all the Beatitudes is essentially love. Because love is what is a conduit of all these other things that hinge off of it, of what God bestows on us as promises that are found in Matthew 5, verses 1 to 9. The 9 Beatitudes, but the greatest one of them all is love. Okay, all these other things, self-control, gentleness, meekness, seeking after his righteousness, wisdom, all those things. I only named a few. Faith, all those things come from God. They're nothing you can earn or get. Those are things that are lavished on us. But then we have to show God being acclimated, meaning really living inside of us and our lives. To make a difference, we have to be people to show that difference by really living it in our lives, by being an active, living example of it. We go to church and we read the Bible. We read the Bible, and we go to all these studies and all. And that's what Jesus said. Learning it is one thing. That's what he says by taking my yoke upon you. That's what he means by that. Studying the Bible, learning all my ways, learning all the teachings in here, all the lessons is great. Then my burden is light. What that means is that light that you have taken on transcends through you as a light to other people. And that's what that means. Take my yoke upon you, for my burden is light. Which means my burden, meaning what you learned of my ways, is adapted to your ways, which can be shared to others. And that's what Jesus meant when he said that. So think about that, folks. Let's become more loving and more people-focused, spiritual-focused churches, all pastors, all evangelists, when not so much about the money or attendance. Let God worry about the money and the attendance, but focus more on the spiritual souls of people. It's Michael DeSills from New Hunter Church of Christ. Please subscribe down below, and if you're able to give, then please do so. If you would like to send us a donation, you can give me a call at 804-789-9373, and I'll be glad to take your donations. Remember, we need help with the electricity and the rent, and also we need help with, with the computer. We need to get a new computer system here, and a new battery. One of our the battery for the computers has gone bad. I have to get the thing replaced. It's going to cost around $600 to replace it. Okay, and the computer, we need about a $2,000-$3,000 worth of computer, for this church, so that I can do all my work on YouTube, because we have a YouTube ministry of 21 subscribers, and we're online as well as we actually do it here. So what you see on the videos is actually what we do here on Sunday morning. All right, well, I love you. Please help us, and please pray with us, and please tell people about us. We're New Hunter Church of Christ in Harbor Square Apartments, and everybody's invited. You don't have to live here to come. You're welcome. And you want to come to you want to take Harbor Square and turn left, and then come on, take another left, and if all the parking places are filled there, then just park over on the other side where it says Harbor Square in an empty spot, and walk on over and walk on upstairs. It'll be the first building that you see. You see the building right in front of you, but it's the building to the left of that building. Walk upstairs and go to 423, and that's where we have service. We'd love to have you here tomorrow here at 1 o'clock. That's when we have our midday service. I think it says 12:30, but I say 12, but we'll start around 1. All right, and I hope to see you here tomorrow for worship. I love you, and shalom, and remember, always put Jesus first in everything you do. Before you do it, always go to him for guidance. That's just so important. Consult Lord before you do anything. Love you. See you later. Bye.